Hello everyone, it's Tilly from Tilly Journals and welcome back to my channel. Sorry that I didn't do a wave there. I don't really know why I didn't do a wave, I just know I didn't. I am planning the week beginning the 15th of April in my 7x9/A5 wide inserts from Tilly Journals, which is my own shop, using the January Mystery Kit 2024 from Scribble Co. and the foil bundle that came with that. It's like this Daisy birthday theme, which was my last foil bundle, my last subscription from Scribble Co. I have now unsubscribed just because I have so many kits. I just need to, you know, get that down a little bit. So there's that. But yeah, I don't think there's much else to say about what I'm using. It is an absolutely gorgeous kit. It's very me. I love daisies. The colours aren't very me, but I love the theming of the kit. Underlay wise, I am using the Daisy Dot underlays from my shop, paired up with the underlays from the kit, which are also a daisy pattern, so they're quite busy underlays. Because I had a couple of day extenders, I did have to cut up some of them for the later boxes, so you will see me do that as well. You won't see me put all of them down, just because, yeah, I needed to make sure I could cover everything, because I hate it when like underlay the boxes underneath are different, even if like they have to be. I don't even particularly like it, but yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. As you may know, it was my birthday, the 13th of April, so this was the first week of my 30s, and yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than that. I don't think a lot else happened this week, so I will get into the books I finished, and this was like my better reading week of April, so we finished 4 books this week, so let's just get straight into those. The first one was Shatter Me by, I believe it's Talia Tahri. I don't know how to say that name. It's spelt Tahereh. Tahri is probably how I'd say it. And this is the beginning of a series. It is about Juliet, who basically is trapped, and when she touches, because she's imprisoned because when she touches somebody it causes them immense pain and it may even kill them. So literally one touch and she can kill people. No one knows why she's got this power. It feels like a curse and a burden, but the re-establishment sees it as a gift, as an opportunity, a deadly weapon. So she essentially is imprisoned, and then the re-establishment try and make her into a weapon, and it's kind of her story around that. I gave this 3 stars. I just wasn't into it. Like, I listened to the audiobook and I feel like that might have done me the books some disservice, because there's quite a lot of, I think, crossings out and reading of things, and it doesn't translate very well via audiobook. I found the audiobook narrator's like voice kind of a bit childlike and annoying. Like, I know she's meant to be young, but it just wound me up. What else do I have to say about this? I just wasn't gripped by the story. Like, I just didn't really care about any of the characters. The romance in it was fine, there was nothing wrong with it, but it was all just a bit predictable, and I don't know why. And yeah, will I carry on with the series? I don't know. We'll see whether I carry on with the series. I'm not sure at the moment. I might do, but I'm not convinced that I will do. There was nothing wrong with it. I didn't really enjoy it. Took me quite a while to listen to a 9-hour audiobook, which I can quite often do in a couple of days, but I think it took me several days. That's just not, like, yeah, it took me like 7 days, which is just ridiculous for an audiobook for me. That's only 9 hours. But yeah, I think basically I was kind of getting a bit fantasied out by this point. I'd read a lot of fantasies and not many romances in a little while. I think I was a bit fantasied out. So after that, I then decided to listen to a romance, so I listened to Same Time Next Year by Tessa Bailey, which is about Britta, who is a waitress working at a popular bar with the local hockey club like to inhabit. She has a soft spot for a player, Sumner. However, his work visa is about to expire, so essentially they have a green card marriage and decide to stay married for 1 year, so hence the title, same time next year. So she marries him on New Year's Eve so that he can stay in the country. This is so cute. I really love this. Britta doesn't believe in love or long relationships or commitment, and Sumner is very much I love happily ever afters, and it's really cute. It's only a short novella. I think it's about 4-hour audiobook, so it's a short book, which is great. It was exactly what I needed. It was just a light, nice fantasy, nice romance with, of course, the Tessa Bailey steam in it, which who can complain about Tessa Bailey's steam? It's just always on point. Then we go back to another fantasy, and we're continuing of, am I in a fantasy slump here? So I read World After, and I read this as a book, and this took me forever to read. Again, it took me a really long time. I just was not into it. I was not enjoying it. So this was called World After. It's the second of Penryn and the Days by Susan E.E. I loved the first book in this series, and by which I will finish the trilogy, the third book. But yeah, I could not get into this second book. It felt like filler. It didn't really seem to have a storyline. I just was not a fan. So these are about Penryn, who lives in a post-apocalyptic world where angels have destroyed the world. She has been reunited with her sister Paige from the first book, but Paige has been operated on by the angels. So everyone is looking and trying to harm Paige. It's kind of protecting her, but it's just all over the place, this book. It just didn't really seem to have a proper plot. I just didn't enjoy. I can't even describe it because I actually don't know what happened through a good chunk of it, so I don't have a lot to say because it really did just feel like the filler middle book of a trilogy. And I hope the third one is better because I really enjoyed book one, and it's got good reviews. I gave it 1 star, but its average is over 4, so maybe why did I not enjoy this book? But I really didn't. Am I just in a fantasy slump? Have I listened to too many read too many fantasies recently, or what? I don't know. But yeah, it just wasn't the business at all for me. Which makes me sad because I like fantasy. I'm a fantasy/romance reader, and to be honest, since this reading slump, I am just listening to the His Dark Materials trilogy over and over again because I don't want to get out of it, but I need the comfort of a book I know I'm going to enjoy, and I'm just not there at the moment with anything, and just, yeah. Which, on the topic of which, repeatedly listening to the His Dark Materials trilogy, I finished The Subtle Knife this week. So yeah, look forward to me over and over and over again talking about these books because I've listened to them another time since that. So yeah, I'm now on the 3rd time through this year, I think, which is bad, but I don't know, they just make me happy, so we're going with it. So, The Subtle Knife is the second in His Dark Materials trilogy. So the first book follows Lyra as she tries to rescue her friend from the gobblers, and at the end of the book she goes into another world. The Subtle Knife is the second book where she meets Will in this other world. She asks the alethiometer, is he a friend or an enemy? The alethiometer asks, he is a murderer. So she finds herself in Chittagazze, where soul-eating spectres attack adults, so it's a children's city. She allies with Will, who is fleeing for his life after taking another's, and has stumbled into this strange realm. Will and Lyra discover the Subtle Knife, and they go on an adventure to try and find Will's father, John Parry, so that, he can try and get him back to his world to help him with his mother, who is it's implied that she's schizophrenic and paranoid schizophrenic, to help him look after her. So that's kind of the plot. Will is fiercely brave and yeah, I love Will. He's just great. His Dark Material books are some of my favourites. I will listen again and again. I love them. Fun fact, I auditioned for Lyra for the Golden Compass film. I got very, very far, met Nicole Kidman, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, super exciting. Love the books. They're just so rereadable to me. They're just a comfort read and just exactly what I needed at this time. And yeah, so that's kind of all I have to say about that. And the other thing I finished this week, which is in the bottom of my sidebar because I kind of forgot about it until I was putting down my scripts, is I finished the TV series Ginny and Georgia this week. There are 2 series of it. There is series 3 and 4 coming, but they are not yet out. So there's that. What was I going to say? So yeah, series 3 and 4 are going to come out soon. They are filming series 3 at the moment. So it's a series about a mum and a daughter. Ginny is the daughter, Georgia is the mother. Essentially, they have never stayed in one town for longer than a couple of months, and so Ginny has never really had friends. She's a teenage girl. Georgia has quite a sordid past, which is why she moves on. They move to a new town after the death of Georgia's husband, and you soon find out that actually Georgia murdered her husband to protect Ginny because he was starting to show signs of sexually assaulting her, so he kills her. She kills him. It's not picked up at all initially, but her husband's ex-wife is trying to make sure that Georgia doesn't get the money, so there's that kind of going on in the background. And it's also about Ginny and Georgia settling into the new town, Ginny making friends for the first time, Georgia embarking on trying to make her own place in the town. It's a really good drama. It's got some dark moments and there are some real topics in it, but it's hilarious. I love it. I think it's a really good program about all sorts of things, and I think there's some really interesting life points in it and things to remember, but I also think it's nice and light-hearted and funny at times, and also real and dark at others. And it's just, yeah, I really, really enjoy it. I'd highly recommend you go and watch it if you haven't already. The end of the second season is kind of a cliffhanger, and I cannot wait for season 3 to come out. I am looking forward to seeing where it's going. But yeah, so that's kind of it for things I have read and watched this week, and I am nearly done with the boxes, and so we'll get on to the day by day very soon. I'm just doing that Sunday's boxes, so to be honest, I could probably get straight into the day by day. What I haven't said is my other highlight of this week was the Tortured Poets department, which actually I probably should have spent a lot more of the voiceover talking about, which is Taylor Swift's new album, which came out on Friday the 18th, and I spent most of the 18th and the weekend listening to it on repeat, and I absolutely love it. I know it's got quite mixed reviews, but I really love it, and I keep listening to several songs on repeat, and I just think it's excellent, and I think there's so much cleverness and thought in the album. It's just chef's kiss. Let me know your favourite songs in the comments down below. I will try and get to mine if we have time, but yeah, if not, we will talk about that another time, though I will probably forget because I have no memory. So I started off on Monday working through a perfectionism module, which is the modules I'm doing with my care coordinator. We sort of do them together and then I look through them between our appointments, and so I was looking through it then. Then I did some planning. Then I had an OT appointment. I haven't really written what it was about or anything, but it was my last appointment, I think. I was due to have one the week I'm filming this voiceover, but I was poorly, so I didn't have it. So I think it was our last. We were looking at my schedule plan and talking about how I was getting on with that. Then I did some filming of a plan with me. I bought my new smartwatch because my smartwatch broke while we were away for my birthday weekend. I was feeling really sluggish and tired and drained, so I just rested for the rest of the day, played a load of Play Up, and then just did some odd little jobs around the house. On to the Tuesday, I went to work and we had no patients, which has been going on for a little while now. I don't really know what's going on. Cardiologies just seem to have absolutely tons of patients, so we don't have very many, and it's very strange. then I went to the library and worked on my audit, which I really need to do some more of. I just need to finish the data collection, but I've got other things to do this week at work before I go away, but oh well. Then I met with Rory about what I wanted to do about CBT, because I had an offer of mindfulness-based CBT online in a group versus CBT with Rory, which was one-on-one CBT. I'm sorry, I'm about to cough. Sorry about that. I just could feel my voice going. But yeah, I met with Rory to talk about the options and what we should do. Then I sat down and came home. When I came home from work, I sat and had a chat with Soch about what we should do, what I should do, etc, etc. Then I did some reading. I was probably reading World After because I feel like I spent the whole week reading it. And then I actually went to Guides for the first time in ages, which was really lovely. And it was just, yeah, it was nice to be at Guides, but it was absolutely draining and I was exhausted afterwards. On to Wednesday, I was working on my life schedule after the OT appointment on Monday. I was looking at like the changes we'd talked about needing to make, etc, etc. I then had a call with Soph where we were doing some planning, I think, but she'd run out of it. This was our last planning call because she'd run out of things to do, but I was doing some planning. Then I played Plate Up with Sochi for a while, and then I got absolutely hyperfixated on trying to find a good way to show my schedule on my phone separate from my normal calendar, because it's done as a calendar. But I didn't want it showing on my regular calendar, so I didn't. So what I did eventually was I found an app that used Google Calendars. After like a lot of trying to find a good calendar app, basically the same as Google Calendar, I eventually put in, I have a burner Google account that I made the schedule in, then I shared it with myself on my other account and then put that onto my phone via a different calendar app that used Google Apps, that like synced with Google Calendar, and then I can have a widget that just shows my schedule for the day. So it's a really good way of like showing what I'm meant to be doing that day. But I got proper hyper focused on displaying it in one way or the other that day. Moving on, I then did some cleaning and some tidying of the house, edited a video. I met with Rebecca, my care coordinator, and talked about psychology and things, and we agreed and eventually got to the decision that I should do the one-on-one CBT with Rory, which I should have started like this week that I'm recording this video, but again, as I said, I was poorly. Then I worked on writing my CV for my application for shortening my GP training, cooked dinner because I try and cook on a Wednesday, went for a walk, and then we finished Ginny and Georgia that night. On to Thursday, I had work again, but it was still pretty like chill, so I went and worked on my audit, worked on my portfolio as well, and then I met with my educational supervisor via video call to sort of just do our beginning of GP training meeting. Came home and read some of World After, then worked on making Sophie's planner and did some sticker organising / pulling of stickers. On to Friday, as I said before, the Tortured Poets department came out, so I got up early and started listening to it, and I listened to it all the way to work. Obviously, she released a secret second album 2 hours after the first, and I didn't manage to get through all of that. I listened to all of the original album, but not all of the second album on my way to work. Went to work, went for coffee with my line manager, which was nice. Just had a chat and things, caught up. Then me and Anna from Plannerface watched a Tortured Poets Department Twitch stream, like somebody reacting to it that knows quite a lot about music production and things, which was so good. Like, it really helped me fall in love with the songs. So he did the first album that day and he was going to do the second album the next day, but unfortunately I couldn't go to the second album one, which was really sad. Then I put on my nails for the weekend, which the nails I'm wearing in this video to represent the Tortured Poets departments. They are black and gold and white, so they're like grey scale with gold on, and it's just so the Tortured Poets, and I love it. Read some of The World After, but then was I just in my feelings and feeling a bit miserable and sorry for myself, so yeah, there's that. I really wasn't in a good mood that day. I don't really know why, I just wasn't. Moving on to the Saturday, I finished off making Sophie's planner to get sent to her, I believe. Then I made my underlays for my, I think actually June kits, because I needed to get my June haul like done before I leave for the holiday. I'm just trying to get really ahead of videos. So yeah, my June kit lineup needs to go up. So I made the underlays for that, played some Plate Up, and then there was a food festival in our town centre which I went to. It's just a little town centre, so there were probably like 20-30 food stalls, but it was just nice to, actually probably 30-40 food stalls. It was just nice to have a little wander around and yeah, have a look what there was. We got some tasty food and we got some cheese and stuff, which I always love a good portion of cheese. Came home and did some filming. I think I filmed a plan with me, potentially even this one. No, can't have been this one. Must have been a different one. I must have filmed this one on the Monday. Anyway, I filmed something, who knows what. Then I had some cuddle time in bed with my husband, which was very much needed, and I think I might have even like fallen asleep for a little bit. Then I met my mum to do some of the DV walking, and we did that. So yeah, I went on that. We couldn't find the girls, so I ended up walking quite far, and then I went with them to pitch their DV tents, which was good. Just needed it doing. They needed some help with, because they've not done it before, so I just went to give them a hand, and like it was their practice expedition, so we were training them as we were going. Then we had a date night where we watched High School Musical, because Soch has never seen it. We got a Chinese takeaway and we played some Plate Up to finish off the day. So yeah, was good. Now quickly onto the Sunday, because I have actually finished putting the Sunday down, but I was very tired. I think I had a bit of a lie-in on Sunday morning. Then I got hyper focused on doing a vector maths question, like a GCSE/A-level style question of it. Did some filming, then I did a lot of resting because I just needed to do some resting, so I built some Lego, I did some designing of scripts and pulled stickers, and I was listening to The Subtle Knife because, as I've said already, I freaking love those books. But yeah, that's kind of my day. I just did bits and pieces whilst having a bit of a restful day as well. But that is it for this video. Here you can see all of the leftovers and things. Comment, like down below, all of that kind of jazz. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!